Hello everyone. Welcome back. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you won't miss out on our comprehensive coding tutorials. Today, we're focusing on a key feature in Spring Boot that can significantly enhance your application's performance and resource management, the @lazy annotation. In Spring Boot, beans are typically loaded eagerly by default, meaning as soon as the application starts, all beans are created. This can sometimes lead to slower startup times and higher memory consumption. However, what if I told you there's a way to optimize this? Yes, with the @lazy annotation, beans are created only when they are actually needed, not before. This lazy initialization can be a game changer, especially for larger applications. In today's video, we'll explore what the @lazy annotation is, how you can implement it in your Spring Boot applications, and why it might be beneficial to use it. We'll also run through a practical example to demonstrate how lazy initialization works in action and discuss some best practices to keep in mind. Let's get started. Now that we've introduced the topic, let's dive deeper into what the @lazy annotation actually is and how it works in Spring Boot. When we talk about bean initialization in Spring Boot, we are generally referring to the process where Spring Framework creates and configures beans that are defined in your application context. By default, Spring Boot practices eager initialization. This means that all beans get created and configured at the time of application startup. This approach ensures that all beans are available before any requests are processed. However, this can sometimes lead to a delay in startup time, especially if your application has a lot of beans or if some of the beans are particularly resource-intensive to create. This is where the @lazy annotation comes into play. By marking a bean with @lazy, you tell Spring Boot to initialize that specific bean lazily, that is, only on demand. This means the bean will only be created and initialized the first time it is needed, not before. Did you know that this annotation can be applied to various elements within your Java codebase? It's not just limited to classes, interfaces, enums, or annotation types. You can also use @lazy with methods, constructors, parameters, and fields. In the code you see on screen, the greeting service symbol will not be initialized at startup. Instead, it will only be initialized when it is first accessed or used in the application. This can significantly reduce startup time as the initialization of some beans is postponed. Benefits of using @lazy annotation are: first, improved startup performance. One of the most immediate benefits of using the @lazy annotation is the improved startup time of your application. By initializing beans only when they are actually required, the application can become responsive faster, which is especially valuable in microservices architectures where services need to start up and scale dynamically. Second, efficient resource management. Lazy initialization helps manage system resources more efficiently. Resource-heavy beans that are not always needed can consume a lot of memory and CPU if initialized eagerly. With @lazy, these beans won't consume resources until they are necessary, which is a smart move for optimizing resource usage. Third, reduced memory footprint. By avoiding the initialization of unused beans, the memory footprint of the application can be significantly reduced. This is particularly beneficial in environments with limited resources, such as IoT devices or mobile backends. Fourth, flexibility in bean initialization. The @lazy annotation provides more flexibility in managing the lifecycle of beans. Developers have control over the timing of bean initialization, which can be crucial when dealing with beans that depend on external systems or configurations that might not be available at startup. Finally, enhanced debugging and maintenance. Lazy loading can also simplify debugging and maintenance. Since beans are initialized when they are actually used, it's easier to trace issues related to bean creation and dependencies. This focused initialization can help isolate and resolve configuration or integration issues more effectively. These benefits make @lazy an essential tool for developers looking to improve the performance and efficiency of their Spring Boot applications. Whether you are working on a large-scale enterprise system or a small microservice, lazy initialization can provide substantial improvements in various aspects of application behavior. If you're looking to configure Spring to lazily initialize all beans globally across your entire Spring Boot application, you can do so by setting spring.main.lazy initialization equals true in your application.properties or application.yml file. When spring.main.lazy initialization is enabled, Spring Boot adjusts the application context to defer the initialization of all singleton beans until they are actually needed. This not only applies to your application-specific beans but also to any auto-configured beans provided by Spring Boot itself. Enabling this feature provides a straightforward method to manage resources more effectively in Spring Boot applications. However, it's important to use it thoughtfully, considering the specific needs and behaviors of your application. When using Java configuration, you can annotate at bean method in your @configuration class to make the bean. We can use it lazy on specific beans that are heavy and not immediately necessary on application startup. This approach ensures that a bean is only created when it is first accessed. In the code you see on screen, the expensive object bean will only be created when it is first accessed, not at startup. When many beans in a configuration class are suitable for lazy initialization, you can apply the @lazy annotation at the class level to avoid repetitive declarations. This approach is clean and ensures that all beans within the configuration benefit from lazy loading without the need to explicitly mark each one. In the code you see on screen, Data Processor and Analytics Service beans are defined within the Heavy Configuration class. Because the @lazy annotation is applied at the class level, it affects all bean definitions within the class. Therefore, both Data Processor and Analytics Service will be lazily initialized. This means that each bean will be created only when it is first needed, that is, when it is first accessed or injected into another bean. For example, if your application never accesses Data Processor or Analytics Service during its lifetime, directly or indirectly via another bean, then these beans will never be created. If another bean or a request requires the Data Processor bean, Spring will initialize Data Processor at that moment, and similarly for Analytics Service. You can also place the @lazy annotation directly on a component or service or repository class. This ensures that the bean for that class will only be instantiated when it is first needed instead of application startup. This is useful for components that aren't critical to the immediate operations of the application. When you apply the @lazy annotation to a constructor parameter in a Spring component, Spring defers the creation of the annotated dependency until it is first used. This is especially valuable in managing resource-heavy beans more efficiently. Let's consider a scenario where you have a report generator service that depends on a data repository. The data repository is a heavy resource that you prefer not to load unless absolutely necessary. This method can significantly improve the efficiency of your application by delaying the creation of beans until they are actually required. It can help in reducing the startup time of the application. In the previous video, we created the primary annotation controller class. Now, let's go ahead and delete this class. In Qualifier Controller class, which uses the English greeting service as a dependency and exposes a REST API. In today's session, we will discuss lazy initialization to verify when a bean is created, whether at server startup or upon first access. To do this, we will need to add a print statement in the constructor to check when the bean is instantiated. Now, open the English greeting service and add a constructor. Inside the constructor, add a print statement that outputs the class name. This will help us verify when the bean for this class is initiated. Do the same thing in the greeting service impl, Hindi greeting service, Spanish greeting service, and qualifier controller classes. Add a constructor to each and include a print statement that outputs the class name to verify when the bean for each class is initiated. Next, let's start the application. As we can see in the logs, messages indicating the initialization of English greeting service, qualifier controller, greeting service impl, Hindi greeting service, and Spanish greeting service are printed. This sequence shows that Spring first creates the bean for English greeting service, followed by qualifier controller, greeting service impl, Hindi greeting service, and finally Spanish greeting service. This means all these beans are created at server startup. By default, Spring creates and loads all beans during server startup. Now, suppose I want to create all beans lazily and also want to configure this at a global level instead of for each individual bean. How can we achieve this? Let's open the application.properties or application.yml file and add spring.main.lazyInitialization equals true. This line will enable global lazy initialization, ensuring that all beans in your Spring application are created only when they are actually needed. Start the application again. As we can see from our logs, the initialization log statement is not printed. This means that Spring does not initiate the bean during server startup. Let's clear the console logs now and open your browser. Type localhost 8080/qualifier/greeting into your browser's address bar and press enter. Great! We've just received the response hello from our application. This confirms that everything is set up correctly so far. Now, let's switch over to IntelliJ. In the logs, we see that the English greeting service and qualifier greeting service beans are created when we access our /qualifier/greeting REST API. The /qualifier/greeting API is hosted within the qualifier greeting service, which requires the English greeting service as a dependency. As a result, Spring first creates the English greeting service, followed by the qualifier greeting service. Other beans have not been created yet because they are not accessed when hitting /qualifier/greeting. This demonstrates that when a bean is marked for lazy initialization, Spring will only create the bean when it is first used. Next, let's remove the spring.main.lazyInitialization property from the application.properties or application.yml file. Previously, we configured Spring to create all beans lazily at a global level. Now, let's focus on a specific case. Suppose we want to make only the greeting service impl class initialize lazily, rather than applying this behavior to all beans. To achieve this, we need to add the @lazy annotation directly to the greeting service impl class. This approach targets lazy initialization specifically to this bean, ensuring it's only created when it's first needed. Let's do this. Start the application again. As we can observe in the logs, the English greeting service, qualifier controller, Hindi greeting service, and Spanish greeting service beans are created by Spring. However, the greeting service impl bean is not created at the same time. Spring checks the greeting service impl class and finds that it is marked for lazy initialization. As a result, Spring does not create this bean during the initial startup phase but waits until it is actually needed. Now, let's remove the @lazy annotation from the greeting service impl class. In the qualifier controller class, we are currently injecting the English greeting service dependency. Now, let's mark the English greeting service class as lazy. Let's see what happens with the English greeting service now that we've marked it as lazy. Will it be initialized at server startup, or will it wait until it's actually needed? To find out, we need to restart our application. Start the application now, and keep an eye on the logs to check whether the English greeting service is initialized during the startup phase or later when it's first accessed. As we can see in the logs, the English greeting service was initialized at server startup despite being marked as lazy. You might wonder why this happened since we expected it to initialize only when needed. Actual reason lies in the qualifier controller class, which requires the English greeting service bean and is loaded early. When Spring loads the qualifier controller, it detects the dependency on English greeting service and, therefore, initializes it immediately to fulfill this requirement. Due to this, English greeting service bean is created at server startup. Add the @lazy annotation just before the English greeting service variable inside the qualifier controller constructor. Start the application again. As we can see in the logs, this time the English greeting service bean is not created. You may wonder why this happened, especially since we noted that the qualifier controller bean was created. The reason lies in the modification we made. In the qualifier controller constructor, we marked the English greeting service variable as lazy. As a result, Spring recognizes that this variable is lazy and does not inject the actual dependency. Instead, Spring creates a proxy for the English greeting service and injects it. Since the English greeting service is marked as lazy, it is not created at this point. Therefore, it is not accessed by the qualifier controller because Spring injects a proxy instead of the actual dependency. Open the web browser. Type localhost 8080/qualifier/greeting and then press enter. Now that we've received the hello response, let's switch back to IntelliJ to analyze what happened behind the scenes. In the logs, we observed that the English greeting service bean is created when we hit the /qualifier/greeting REST API, which calls the getGreeting method of the greeting service interface. In the qualifier controller class, we inject the English greeting service. This implies that the English greeting service class is accessed for the first time, prompting Spring to create the bean for it. Moving on to our next point, let's discuss the best practices for using the @lazy annotation in your Spring applications. Before applying @lazy, analyze the usage pattern of the bean. If a bean is used frequently and soon after application startup, making it lazy might not offer benefits and could introduce overhead due to the lazy loading mechanism. Now, let's talk about testing implications. It's crucial to ensure that lazy initialization doesn't impact the correctness of your application. Comprehensive testing, covering various scenarios, will help validate that your lazy beans behave as expected. Combining @lazy with Spring profiles can greatly enhance your environment-specific bean management. For instance, marking beans as lazy in production but not in development can optimize performance where needed. One important tip is to avoid overusing lazy initialization. While it can speed up startup time, excessive use can scatter initialization logic and potentially lead to runtime delays and debugging challenges. Monitoring application performance is also key. Keep an eye on the impact of lazy initialization, especially when accessing lazy beans for the first time, as heavy initializations can cause unexpected delays. Lastly, remember to document your use of @lazy for future reference and maintenance. Explaining why and how @lazy is used will help you and your team understand the application's structure and behavior better. To wrap up, the @lazy annotation is indeed a powerful tool in Spring Boot for managing bean lifecycle efficiently. However, it's crucial to use it judiciously. Overusing @lazy can result in confusion and unexpected behaviors, especially in complex applications. You can find all the code we've discussed today on GitHub. The link is provided in the video description below. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay updated on our latest videos. Have any questions or want to share your experiences with @lazy? Drop a comment below. See you in the next video.